Hello race fans, and welcome to the 7th race of the Shiny Wax Piston Cup Series Season 2, the Glen Ellen 115. Here we are today at the beautiful Glen Ellen Motor Speedway for a 12-lap race to decide who is the best on road courses, at least this particular one. It's a beautiful race course today, designed after the NASCAR version of this track, the Watkins Glen International Raceway. The pole sitter for today is Buck Bearingley. He's had a rough season so far, but he is certainly showing speed this weekend. Fast in qualifying today were Bruce Miller and Terry Cargas, I should say, for today's race. Both have had rough seasons, both looking to improve on that today. Last week's winner, Doug Throttleman, one of many drivers to struggle in qualifying today. A lot of notable drivers are near the back. Now, getting ready for the command to fire up. Drivers, start your engines. Now, as the cars roll off, let's take a look at the starting lineup. Buck Bearingley starting out front alongside Darren Leadfoot with Bruce Miller and Terry Cargas in row 2. Bobby Rotesta and Alan Carbonfizz in row 3. Carbonfizz with a lot of momentum recently. Rookie Tex Ford in just his second start, starting 11th today, ahead of road course aces Chase DeLoop, Parker Breakston, and Austin Lawkins. Back through the 20s, you got guys like Nick Schiff, Kurt Bushwhack, who had a great run last week, and Carl Clutchin, who narrowly avoided victory at Hills County. Back through the 30s, last race's winner, Doug Throttleman, back here, along with some other notable drivers. Last place today is Matthew Overtaker, and a notable name that did not qualify, Ralph Carlo. His nightmare season continues. Now coming to the green flag out of the final corner. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. Lap 1 of 12 is underway. A race down into turn 1. Bearingley has a slight advantage over Leadfoot. 3 wide, shift to the inside of Rodages. Here they go through the bus stop. Bruce Miller underneath Bearingley, and he is going to get the lead through the carousel. And here he comes through the final 2 corners, and Bruce Miller, 38th in points entering today, will lead lap number 1. Lap number 2 is underway. Miller with a slight advantage over Bearingley, and now Bobby Rotesta following closely in 3rd. Miller through the final 2 corners. Oh, Bearingley locks it up, gets to the inside. 3 wide as they cross the line. Rotesta going to take the lead as they go down into turn number 1. Bearingley gets squeezed out back to 5th. Leadfoot through into 2nd, side by side with Miller, racing for that position, but he will clear him. And Rotesta locks up! He's off into the sand trap! And Bobby Rotesta has a lot of damage. He's going to have to pit here. Gonna lose a lot of time. A tough break for the guy who was leading the race. Lap 4 now, going through the bus stop in the carousel. Darren Leadfoot has a slight lead. He slides up. Miller to the inside. And through the final corners, Miller going to get the advantage. And he's going to take the lead into lap 5 as they catch lap traffic. Bobby Rotesta barely in front of the leaders. Looks like he's put on rain tires, and a lot of other guys. It's starting to rain here in the carousel. And everyone's going to go off. And a huge crash. Miller's caught up in it. It started to rain down in the carousel. Some guys ducked down pit road, but others couldn't do it in time, and a massive pile up here at the back of the pack. See, looks like Phil Tankson just slid it into Floyd Mulvihill, simultaneously jacked up post spins. Bruce Miller obviously gets into it, and a huge crash. All right, so Lightning has come into the area here at Glen Ellen, and we are going to have to take a quick break while that gets cleared up. We're back here at the Glen Ellen Motor Speedway, and yes, you can see this racetrack is now covered in rain. It is pouring here at the moment. Before we go restarting again, let's take a look at some of the news storylines. Speedy Comet was on pit road when the caution came out. He got a free pit stop to go onto rain tires, and he will start alongside Al McWhippen on the front row. Look at this running order. Greg Candyman, Dirksen D'Agostino, Tommy Highbanks, Red Rodages, and others were all outside the top 15 before the caution, and now they're making up the top 10. Meanwhile, Buck Bearingley, Murray Clutchburn, Darren Leadfoot, and others got shuffled to the back because they had to pit under caution and weren't able to make it under green. And the free pass under the caution will be the only lap car who made it through that massive accident, Matthew Overtaker. He barely managed to get through with the rest of the leaders. Now coming back around, starting to get back to racing, and we are going green. Let's see how this goes. Racing in the rain here at Glen Ellen. 5 to go. Comet goes wide into the first corner. Greg Candyman through to the lead. 3 wide behind him. Highbanks, D'Agostino, and McWhippin now into the bus stop. Candyman gonna clear Speedy Comet. Greg Candyman goes wide, but he is still in the lead. Here comes Tommy Highbanks through into the second position. Oh, Highbanks! He loses it going through the final corner. Barely avoids contact with the wall, but will cycle out around 10th place. Candyman now through the S's. Has everyone trying to chase him. Here's Rev Rodages having a great run now due to the rain. Going around side Dirksen D'Agostino and goes through the grass. Overshot it just a little bit. Candyman through the final corner. Oh, he's going to spin. He's going to spin out, but he saves it. No caution either. Comet to the lead. And Rev Rodages with a great move there inside of 3 wide there between Bushwhack and Candyman. Now Comet into the bus stop. He has the lead. He's led the most laps so far today, looking to keep it to the end. Through the final 2 corners, Speedy Comet going through to the start-finish line has a bit of a gap over Rodages as everyone trying to chase. Going through the S's now, here comes Comet leading over Rodages, trying to hold on. It is wet. It is so soaked here. Everyone's slipping and sliding around the racetrack. They can't do anything to get to him. Here comes Rodages trying to get a run onto the final lap. Rodages, he's going to send it in there, locks it up, spins around, and into the wall goes Comet, and through goes Candyman. Greg Candyman hasn't won in years. Already has announced his retirement at the end of this season, looking to go out with a bang. Through the final 2 corners, Bushwhack sends it, can't make it stick, and Greg Candyman is going to win a wacky topsy-turvy race at the Glen Ellen International Raceway. A sure fan favorite win here. Greg Candyman finally wins for the first time in either the normal Piston Cup Series or the Shiny Wax Piston Cup Series in years. A nice celebratory burnout for him. Moving on to the results for today's race, Greg Candyman with a great win. Finally winning his first race. He's never even come close in this series. Kurt Bushwhack, Dirksen D'Agostino, Rev Rodages, and Sporty Rodson make up a wacky top 5. Shout out to rookie Tex Ford finishing 8th, showing some prowess on road courses that we didn't expect. Max Loader 17th, Pulsitor Buck Bearingly down in 18th. Several notable drivers such as Dino Drafsky, Parker Breakston, and Brian Spark down in the 20s. Then Carl Clutchin had a terrible race, finishing 31st. And back here is Bruce Miller, who had some terrible luck with the crash happening right in front of him in this race. Moving on to the points standings after race 7, Darren Leadfoot holds on to a 12-point points lead over Chase DeLoop. Carl Clutchin goes down to 3rd. DeLoop moved up 4 spots by just finishing inside the top 10 in this race. Dud Throttleman moves down to 6th. Currently, the 2 wildcard spots being held by TG Castlenut and Todd Marcus, as there are 2 drivers below this slot that have wins, but you need to be in the top 20 to be able to use your wins. So Jack DePost, who is all the way down in 30th in points, who has had just an awful season without his win in the short track showdowns, and now Greg Candyman, both of them cannot use their wins at this point, but I don't think Greg Candyman really cares about that, to be honest. I can only imagine how happy he is right now. Ralph Carlo now down in 42nd in points, barely ahead of Al McWhippin and Tex Ford, who are starting to show some good momentum. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the rain effect and everything else about the race. I hope you guys have a great day.